Hello everyone, this is Professor Stewart. I am going to do this little quick hit over the persuasive speech, similar to the one for the informative speech. I hope this answers a lot of questions that you may be having, and if not, that's why I created the persuasive speech discussion board so that we as a class can discuss this together to make sure that everyone has the answers they need to make a quality persuasive speech. First things first, your persuasive speech is similar to the informative speech in which it needs to be 5 to 7 minutes long. Once again, if you go under 5 minutes, points will be deducted. If you go over 7 minutes, points will be deducted. A PowerPoint is required for this speech. You can have a Prezi as well. The key here, though, is the PowerPoint must be visible. This isn't a situation in which you can have the PowerPoint on your laptop and you just click your laptop to shuffle the PowerPoint slides along. It must be visible in a sense of I've got to be able to see it and read it. And I know some of you may think that seems difficult, but the response to that is this. That's the same thing that has to occur for the face-to-face classes. We have to be on an even level, even playing field here when it comes to face-to-face and online. So that's just the nature of the course. And that's just what has to happen. But the PowerPoint has to be readable. It has to be visible. I have to be able to see that. 5 orally cited sources are required for this speech. At least one of them must be a journal, an academic journal. You can find these academic journals on the LSC library homepage. They are either coming from Academic Search Complete, which is aka EBSCOhost, JSTOR, or LexisNexis. You all can access these from your home computers. You just need your LSC student ID number that's on the back of your student ID card. If you don't have that, A, I encourage you to go get one, but B, that means then you will probably need to go to campus to do some research. I encourage you to utilize those sites for your speech. Not only are they required for this particular speech in this class, they are also good tools to have in your tool belt when you transfer on to the 4-year institution where most of your research is not going to come from just randomly Googling things, but instead academic journals. Professional dress is expected, and of course, with the name of this class being Business and Professional, I would assume that you would already know that, but I don't want to take that assumption into consideration, so it's part of the grading criteria. And a minimum of 5 adult audience members must be visible, and once again, I will not get into an argue over who is an adult and who is not. If they look like an adult, they will work, but kids do not look like an adult, just an FYI. Taking this language directly from the course syllabus, this is what you'll be doing when it comes to the persuasive speech. You're delivering some sort of argument that's confronting a problem that an audience member or you or anyone is likely to face in a business or professional relationship. So the persuasive techniques in chapters 9 through 12, your goal here is to craft a speech that's going to motivate us as the listeners to change our beliefs or our behavior about how our workplace relationships should be solved. And I've given you a host of specific aspects of workplace relationships that could be deemed challenging, but they're definitely not limited to this. If you have something that you want to give a speech on, or you have a specific topic that applies to this speech that's not on this topic list, all I ask that you do is just send me an email just to double check and confirm, and that's pretty much it, okay? Like I said, I gave you a whole list here of possible topics, but that doesn't mean these are the only possible topics out there. If you're having trouble, this is where chapters 9 through 12 come into play in your textbook. Once again, you'll be graded on the persuasiveness of your message, as well as the construction and configuration of a professionally organized speech. So how will we set this speech up, or how will you organize this particular setup? I implore you to go to your textbook, page 226. You will see the speech setups or the speech organizational patterns. There's spatial, there's topical, there's chronological. All of those are dealing with informative speeches. This is not an informative speech. This is a persuasive speech. So you're typically going to stick to one of two patterns, organizational patterns. That's cause, effect, solution, and problem solution. Both of these are outlined heavily on page 266 of your textbook, as well as in the previous video. Your main ideas and your main points, page 271, once again, centered around your thesis statement. A thesis statement is needed for your speech. Any speech you ever give outside of this class or in a classroom must always have a thesis statement, and your main ideas are centered around that specific thesis statement. And of course, as I stated in the previous video, your thesis statement is a declarative sentence. It's a declarative statement. But as far as main ideas are concerned, you do not want any more than 3 of those. Which one of those is going to be your solution, aka how can we solve for this? What solutions do we have? This is going to solve for this particular problem. Once again, another introduction and conclusion, same as the informative. If you need to rewatch that video to go back over proper introductions and proper conclusions and proper AGDs that will help for your introduction, then go ahead, do that. But this is going to require some critical thinking, this particular speech. This isn't just a full-fledged, I can just write this in 30 minutes and then while I have my friends over, go ahead and give this speech. This is going to require some critical thinking, and that's the whole purpose of college, is to expand your critical thinking, expand your mind to think about certain types of situations in a more critical aspect. Not only that, this is stuff you'll be asked to do of you once you get into your professional jobs, once you graduate from either Lone Star or your 4-year institution. Once again, the persuasive speech discussion board is open in case you have questions about that, maybe questions that I did not answer in this particular quick hit of the persuasive speech. Post them there, let me know, let your classmates know, so we can all understand where we are before you guys start to record this speech. And once again, I want you to do the best possible, or make the best possible grade on this speech, so please, if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask.